It's not what you picked.
It's alright, she's cute.
No, I get it, but it's the original lady had a scheduling issue, and women in these professions get up really late.
Yeah, I know it's kind of an early call.
Yeah, and she is not in her 20s, and so she's more professional. She's actually held jobs, so you know.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, we either make it or he says, fuck you. You know, listen, it happens.
Yeah.
I've had clients that have such standards, and it's like, this is not what I picked, you know, she's not, whatever.
For me, because of family obligations, if I got a window, I got to take it.
Yeah. You live here or you?
I'm trying to move here. My family is from Guayaquil. So this trip was about getting my Ecuadorian passport and my cellular.
You're the same thing as my dad. My father has to get his passport. He has to get a cedula, all kinds of shit.
Yeah.
But are you gonna be like a Cuenca guy, or what are you thinking about?
I'm going to be both. I'm going to be Cuenca and try to get an apartment over by Playas.
By Playas. But you're not thinking of moving to Guayaquil per se.
Guayaquil, no. Ecuador, yes.
Oh, okay. Because we're moving out of this line of work into doing expat support.
Okay.
And you know, my spouse does real estate, you know, whatever. Really, the only Guayaquil, when it comes to certain areas, is a shit show.
I hear it's very, very dangerous.
But if you are in a gated community, but some guys don't want to live in a gated community.
No, I would prefer a gated community because if I'm not there, what the hell's happening to the house? What's happening to the apartment? And I don't want to have to be there.
I just had a client that well, he's Afro-British. He's a black British guy, and he lived at the beach in Costa Rica, and the whole gated community concept was just foreign to him. It's like, you know, I can just see the coconuts and shit. Now, of course, the problem with Costa Rica is he's paying a high price. He's paying $1,500.
Costa Rica, I've been to Costa Rica several times. It's nice, but it's expensive as hell.
It has gotten expensive.
Because of the Americans.
Because, yeah.
Because of the Americans, man. It's got very, very expensive. So,
Bueno, me alegra que la haya pasado bien.
¿pasó bien usted?
Porque originalmente iba a venir otra señorita, pero la flaca.
No la he visto.
¿Y viven cerca?
Sí, por eso no la he visto. Es que yo nunca la he visto por el barrio, pero es raro. No la veo casi.
¿No la ves?
No sé si ella pasa el día en otro lado.
Ella va a la universidad agraria, agrónoma, del sur.
Casi no la veo.
Si nunca está. So yeah, I mean, but those gated communities, the nice gated communities, they're not in Guayaquil per se. They're over there in San Borondón.
Yeah, San Borondón is cream of the crop.
I lived there. When I had a child, I was like, I don't give a fuck about the gangsters. They certainly don't bother me.
Yeah.
You know? But, you know, my wife was like, you know, we can't. So we moved to San Borondón.
It's a beautiful area, but it's expensive there too.
It's also expensive. The house that I bought 10 years ago used to be $92,000, and that was considered expensive for that time. My same house costs right now, buenas. No, gracias. Estamos bien. Muchas gracias. Right now, my house costs $170.
Wow, almost double.
And it's one floor, 3 bedrooms. It's not a huge house. Houses of 2 stories, that.
Yeah. Yeah, I noticed. Guayaquil, I mean, I've got family here. I've got family in Cuenca. I've got To me, I'd like the contrast of the beach and the mountains. If I want to be up in the middle of Chile, I'm up in the mountains, and I get bored of that, let's head to the beach.
Living here has become chaotic. Vivir en Guayaquil se ha vuelto complicado.
Tema de inseguridad.
¿Desde cuándo está inseguro Guayaquil?
5, 6 years.
Más o menos julio,
And
agosto.
it's all
Desde que hubo lo de los políticos, cuando estaban en campaña, ahí comenzó la constante.
the issue goes much deeper, and it has to do with international politics, which is why I don't like to delve into it. We had a president called Rafael Correa. Ahí se queda conmigo que salió otro animalito.
Ay, ok.
We had a president called Rafael Correa. The gentleman was U.S. trained, right? U.S. trained, economics. His boss got fired for being corrupt. So he was really never no one's number one pick. But he had some left-wing tendencies. So he was the minister of economy because his boss got fired. And he was like, well, why do we have Ecuadorians call it a base. As someone who has seen bases, that was not a base. Was not an American
I've
base.
heard something about Manta.
Yeah, it was an airstrip with a half reconnaissance squadron. You know, at the most there were like 40 people there with maintenance and crews and pilots. You know, C-130s, maybe P-3 Orions, whatever the fuck. So this half squadron was just doing reconnaissance. It's like, okay, there's a boat there that doesn't have a transponder. You know,
Go check it out. Yeah.
go check it out. And so, according to him, that was an attack on the sovereignty, as if there was a battalion of Marines there or some bullshit. But you know, so he gets fired. The president at the time was like, okay, fuck you. You know, you just pissed off the U.S. You know, you gotta go, homie. You know what I'm saying? You can't just be out here. You're not the president. You're not the chancellor. Get the fuck out. Grab your shit. There's the goddamn door. So he comes back as a candidate, and he wins the presidency. And he was in power for the next 10 years.
Holy shit.
Now, it seems he got funding by FARC. He got funding by FARC. There was some dark money coming in from Venezuela. Chavez was still alive back then. There was some money from Cuba. So he was getting all the left-wing support, basically. So basically, he made a deal with the narcos. He was like, you people keep it to a minimum and give me some money for my campaigns, but just don't blow up the spot. Don't do anything crazy. You know, move your drugs, whatever, but we will just do business.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't try to become Pablo Escobar. You know, I'm not gonna. You know, just move.
Keep the crime down.
Yeah, just. And as stupid as it sounded, it worked. The gangsters kept it to a minimum. Now, a president comes in, and all of a sudden it's a problem. It's like, okay, I'm getting heat from the U.S. because you people are moving too much dope. You need. It was like, no, we had an agreement. No, you had an agreement with the guy that left. That's not going to work here. And so ever since then, the security situation has unraveled because the elements that were at peace before no longer have an incentive to be at peace. And so now it's active confrontation with the government.
And I've thought about, I know a little bit about Ecuadorian politics, and look what's happening in El Salvador with Bukele. He talks about crime, but he doesn't talk about narcos. Right? And I'm sure he went to them and said, look, move your shit, pay your taxes.
Get the
to
fuck out.
government,
Yeah. Just keep it low.
And the gangbangers are all going to prison.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
And everybody's happy.
Yeah.
Everybody's happy. So You can't stop that trade. You just can't. And starting a war is not the answer. So, I mean, in that sense, I see it. You guys move it, keep it, so that I don't get pressure from Uncle Sam. Do what you got to do. Let me grab a couple tons now and then for the cameras.
Yeah.
Pay your taxes.
Yeah.
And keep the crime down. That's it.
But that the approach has been confrontation, and that's not working out.
Yeah.
So plus these organizations have exponentially grown. So
are they Ecuadorian or are they Mexican?
The bosses are Mexican and Colombian, but the ones that do the labor are Ecuadorians. To be blunt about it, it'll probably get worse before it gets better. Mm-hmm. But no one seems to have a strategy.
I think the strategy is sit down at the negotiation table, figure out what works for everybody, and live happily ever after, because you're not going to stop it.
Yes, but the problem is that there is no political will. Like in, we had a problem with terrorism when I was a child. Obviously, I'm 46 now. The leader at that time called on the U.S. It was the Cold War, so such things used to happen. And they were like, I need you to bring me some homies so I can train these people to combat the terror. And that's what they did. Obviously, there were excess killings and extrajudicial torture and the things that come with these kinds of tactics. Let's be clear. These things are not without a cost.
Yeah.
But the problem got eliminated. Such things are not possible in today's climate. We're not in the Cold War.
Yeah.
The United States cannot be seen in today's climate sending a bunch of fucking CIA agents to teach these people to do wacky shit. Not to put a finer point on it, but at least in that era, there was some proper leadership, or at least it was a stable leadership. I mean, Biden seems to be brain dead. Biden seems to be brain dead. Donald Trump is a bit unhinged, so you don't know where he's going to go. So, in order to have a proper strategy, you need a concrete plan, and it's just not going to happen.
US pretty fucked up.
And the next 4 years are going to continue to be fucked up because the Democrats are not going to let Biden. The Democrats are not going to let Trump be at peace.
I know they're about to take his businesses away in New York.
Okay, so let's say he wins. He's not. I don't think he'll last the 4 years. I think he'll be impeached, and that'll be another shit show. And okay, let's say Biden wins. Let's say he lives 4 years. He'll be a walking corpse. He'll be like Mitch McConnell. He was just sitting there, looking at you, staring into the fucking. Or Dianne Feinstein, that she literally died in office.
Yeah, they were telling her, just push the yes button.
Hay una pila de políticos decrépitos en Estados Unidos y hay un republicano que es el líder. Le hicieron una pregunta y él textualmente se quedó en la cámara así.
Se salió en CNN.
Y le dio un derrame ahí enfrente de la cámara.
Así. Hasta que la gente se sentía incómoda, pues tuvieron que cogerle la mano. Oye, se lo llevaron. No, tiene un momento, por favor, tiene más de 80. Y después la persona que era el oponente de ella también estaba así, pero en silla de ruedas. Dianne Feinstein era una mujer. Ella murió en oficina. Y era lo mismo. Si no fuera por sus asistentes que le decían, vota así, ella no reaccionaba. Y el presidente, Joe Biden, ese es otro. Ese es
cuerpo sin cerebro.
Entonces, terrible.
All right, my friend. Well, thank you so much.
All right, don't worry about it.
I appreciate it. Next time I'm in town, I'll give you a buzz.
Well, I gotta go pick up another customer. This is a much more peaceful profession than I would.
The nice thing is everything's legal here. You just have to be discreet.
I made a podcast about this, the legality of it. I made a podcast about this. It's all about growing my business.
And to me, anywhere in the world, as long as everybody's of age, everybody's willing, what the fuck's the problem?
The U.S. is the only one of the few Western nations where prostitution is illegal. I don't know if you're aware of this. Germany's legal.
Mexico is legal. I've made many trips back in the
England is legal. Russia is.
I've never been to Russia. It sounds ridiculous.
Well, yeah, right now, yeah. But when people, but the U.S. has.
Everyone hang-ups.
Yeah. You know, you go to Vegas. I don't know if you've ever been there. We had a base, 29 Palms. It's the prices are out of hand.
Really?
The minimum of a session is $500 an hour.
Really? And the Marines were willing to.
And the legal brothels, yeah, that's correct. And when they bring in porn stars, that's $2,000 an hour. I don't know who's got that kind of money. Clearly, someone does, but you know.
20-something that hasn't been paying for rent for 2 years. And
I imagine, but you know, it's
yeah, for that kind of money, it's not worth it.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. John.
Thank you. Great
See you
meeting. I
again.
appreciate it. Muchas gracias. Nos vemos. Chao. Igualmente.
Ya nos vamos. Vamos, bonita. Yep. At least we played it right, because I've had situations here. This is why I told you go over there.
Yeah.
¿Ah? Es que hay que hacer todo este tipo de cosas para que no le pongan es que hay que hacer todo este tipo de cosas para que no le metan una. Buenas. ¿Y cómo ha estado?
Ay, bien, sobreviviendo.
Como todos.
Bien, pero ni mal ni bien, neutral.
Hoy yo tengo un cliente, el que te mandé el video.
Ya.
Él viene de Cuenca ahorita.
¿Ya?
I welcome you on behalf of the Party Ecuador team. Come to Ecuador and make your dreams come true. Lovely women are waiting for you.